All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Nerd Camp Sports. I am Mike Williams. We got Radja Anthony Ali, R&B as well. And today we have a good friend of mine, a special guest in the building to talk about some sports with us. I go back to high school with this guy here. This is Brandon. How you gentlemen all doing this morning?
Doing very well. And yourself, sir?
I can't complain. A little tired. Had an event last night. Got in 4:30, but we still here.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
So how about you, Raj? You R&B, how y'all feeling this morning?
Doing great, man. Really excited to talk today. A lot going on, not just in the football world. Thank God, because there's a lot of football news that was happening, but also with basketball as well. So I'm excited to talk about sports today.
Well, they knew that football about to end, so we gotta have to.
Yeah, they had to do something. They was like, you know what? Do a major trade right now. We need something.
That was a good kickstart to
the. It definitely beats the Pro Bowl. I'll tell you that.
Ooh, you ain't said it.
Oh man,
I don't even have that on the list, bro. Like, no.
Yeah.
I watched that over All-Star Weekend.
Oh, come on.
I will watch that skills competition over All-Star Weekend. Yes, I will.
That skills competition. We'll get to that.
With the quarterbacks, it was actually pretty good to watch.
I'll take the over the Pro Bowl itself.
At least they actually.
Oh yeah, true. I agree.
All right.
Well, let's get right into it, guys. Let's just get into the trade that has shaken the landscape of the Western Conference in a sense. So last night, about 1:30, I get an alert that the Dallas Mavericks have traded the Luka Doncic into the Lakers. But I shared it last night. I'm just pulling up what the full detailed trade is. Give me 1 second. I was sharing shit last night. So it says the Dallas Mavericks have traded Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. As a part of the trade, Jalen Hood-Schifino, a 2025 Clippers second, and a 2025 Mavericks second are going to the Utah Jazz.
I feel like a 2029 first round pick is hilarious. Just way out there.
What year is it?
I thought 2029.
Oh man, that might as well be 2050. Nobody's paying attention to that.
Yeah. 2029 first round pick. Yeah.
Really not that far away as you think. That's a high school term.
What's that? 4 years right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 4 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, Raj, I'll let you go. I'll go to you first with this one. What do you think about this trade?
All right. Well, first and foremost, like I was saying a little bit off the air, I was asleep. I had no idea this trade was happening, like most people on the East Coast. But when I woke up, like in the middle of like the night, it was like 2-something in the morning. I looked, and the first post, ironically, I seen was your post about Luka being traded. I'm like, man, this dude, he's posting some fake news. This got to be one of them hacked accounts. So I went to Twitter and I looked it up, and I was like, yo, this really happened. So long story short, when it comes down to this trade, I think it's necessary because I believe, especially now that LeBron is in his 22nd year and possibly could play 23 years, which I believe is going to be his retirement year. I believe he needs that co-star that's going to be reliable and somebody that's going to score and put up numbers pretty much every single night right next to him. And Luka is one of those guys. Now, we all know Luka's history when it comes down to conditioning and, of course, his injury and stuff like that. But let's be honest. If we had to choose between AD and Luka, you're choosing Luka. This guy is an MVP caliber type guy. Me personally, I think he's one of the top 3 in the league right now. But the only glaring concern that we have is how is it going to fit with LeBron? Because now you got two ball handlers and somebody that's going to hold the ball pretty much probably 60 to 70% of the time and play point guard. And how is LeBron going to play off the ball? So that's my concern with it. But as far as Dallas goes, I know Dallas said that they wanted a win now type situation with AD. Honestly, I don't know if that's the greatest move, but I understand because AD is also, when he's healthy, top 10, top 5, arguably, one of the best power forwards in the game. But unfortunately, he's going to be playing alongside someone like Kyrie that low-key got an injury problem too. And now it's like, who do you depend on when it comes down to these two guys staying healthy and staying on the court? So we'll see what happens. But as far as the win in the trade, I believe that Los Angeles Lakers won this trade. We'll see what type of pieces they put around them. But I think it's a great move for LeBron and his legacy.
And that exact comment is this. And he said, the reason behind the Doncic trade is I believe that defense wins championships. I believe that getting an all-defensive center, an all-NBA player with a defensive mind state gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future.
Right. But the question is he going to play center? Because he doesn't like playing center.
I don't like playing center, no.
He doesn't have to play center because they have Derek Lively.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true. What are your thoughts on this, Brandon?
So I think it's kind of a bit of a high risk, high reward for both of these parties, considering they're both, injury prone. And Luka comes with the apparent, doing, some research on this because I'm more on the NFL side than the NBA side. I wanted to make sure I knew a little bit what I was talking about. So Luka having these conditioning problems is something that, having a bit of a personality, a work ethic problem, because it's not just you're on the court, how much you're paying attention to it. It's, watching the film. It's making sure your body and mind are there off the court as well, making sure your personal life is also in order as well. Like that's all those aspects play a big role into everything as to how well somebody can perform on the field. And we all know about Anthony Davis's injury problems. So in my opinion, like the Utah Jazz are the ones that are like, hey, we got some stuff for, this crazy blockbuster trade. We're just over here kind of Switzerland in it, letting it, just trying to build up whatever we can. Y'all can, everyone can talk about y'all. I'm looking at Utah. I'm like, all right, I see y'all.
Exactly. Building up that young core in Utah too, which I think is great. That's
it. What about you, R&B? This is your squad, so.
All right, man.
What's your feelings
with this, Rod? As always, you're wrong, man. You're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. You cannot make something like this so black and white as to say, "Oh, if you just had to choose between AD and Luka, you would obviously choose Luka." If you make it black and white like that, then you tricking the people into saying, yeah, because we all know the type of caliber of player that Luka is. But you also have to put context around the situation of what does the team need. So with that being said, I'm happy to have Luka as a Laker for the future, but it's not going to be anything for this present. I don't see anything happening with him and LeBron together as of right now. I see this as a future move. But just like Brandon just mentioned, high risk, high reward. It's a future move, but it's a risk as a future move because now you got to worry about if this dude is going to get back in shape. It's rumored that this dude got up to 270 pounds.
Oh, man.
This is supposed to be your point guard coming in with a straight dad bod. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't even been out that long. He had the calf injury, almost less than a month ago, and you already then got up to 270 pounds? So where's your work ethic at? Again, we know the greatness of Luka. So yes, as a Laker fan, we're happy to have him, but we can't sit here and pretend this isn't a risky move and that we have to actually see how it's going to play out and go. As far as Dallas, if you can continue to get a healthy AD, which we know he's missed a little bit of time this past week or so with the abdominal strain. If Kyrie can continue to stay healthy, They have a nice young core with Derek Lively and some of those other cats to go along with it. I definitely think that the window is open now for them. And another thing, as far as what the Lakers got back, we got a fat, out of shape superstar point guard that we have to. That's a hope, a wish, and a prayer. And fucking Maxi Kleber. That's nothing to write home about. When you really look at it from a reality standpoint, it's kind of like shit trade. I think this was kind of like something that Rob Pelinka maybe had. I don't know how it went down. Maybe Mark Cuban reached out or whatever the case may be. It's rumored that they reached out and said that Luca was they were offering Luca for whatever or something like that. And from there, you know what I'm saying, they kind of, I think Rob Pelinka kind of was like, shit, this could be something to, you know what I'm saying, get my ass out the fire, you know what I'm saying, make me look good again, trading for Luca. And he did it. So it wasn't really that he sat down and thought about the variables of this shit and planned it and said, if we put this piece here, this piece, because now you still got to go get a big. You got two ball dominant guys in LeBron and Luca. You have no big. You barely have any shooting around outside of Dalton Connect. It's a lot of questions there for the Lakers after this trade. Not many for Dallas outside of, can these two dudes stay healthy? If they can stay healthy, they could potentially, be dominant in this year's run in the Western Conference playoff with AD and Kyrie together. Kyrie knows how to play with a big. So that's just how I'm looking at it. Happy to have Luka, but we got to see how it play out, man.
Right.
Well, there's plenty to unfold with all you said, and I'm gonna say one thing for sure is the Lakers did this. Pelinka did this because, like R&B said, he needed to get out of the fire. Okay.
Oh yeah.
He needed just something to look good, even if it was bad, because on paper it looks good.
Yeah, on paper it looked good. Especially to the average eye.
Of course, because now now tomorrow when all the aficionados, the one that one day we hope we can be on to talk about this, they're going to talk about pressure on the Lakers. We know this. Don't matter what the situation is. Even though R&B's right with what he's saying, they're going to feel pressure. It's going to be win.
Definitely.
Now, also, the Lakers realized, though, because the way I read it happened was that the Mavericks reached out first, because it's not like Pelinka was like, he would think Luka's untradeable,
right.
So there's no way he reached out first.
I heard there was some player that was just in the middle of a game that the crowd shouted out, Luka got traded, and it was like, this other Luka? Like, no, Luka.
So,
let me ask you. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
You good. So now he's looking at it like he looks good, but now when LeBron does retire, now you have your next young guy to take over. So in that regard, I think it's smart. Now, like R&B also said, you need a big though. So in a sense, you've hurt your team because you don't have that big player. You don't have it. So I think right now it might not do too much for them, especially considering Luka's still out with an injury. So pretty much you've put LeBron back in Cleveland in 2007 for the moment. So,
How
how
old was he back then? He was late 20s.
Exactly. So it's just like, even that first year when they went to the finals with Kyrie and Kevin Love, and they were both hurt. Take your pick which year it was, but but I just see this not being good right
now. LeBron too.
Maybe you got to get a big man. When's the trade deadline? Did it pass or is it?
It's February 6th, right?
Yeah. I think it's Friday. Okay. I believe
Friday.
Cool.
Yeah,
4:00. They'd be doing a weird time. So
and then there's the buyout market. There's a whole bunch of stuff afterwards.
I believe that they're going to be in play to try to go get either Vucevic Is he with Washington or is
Yep.
he still with Chicago?
He's with Chicago.
Okay,
Uh,
I believe they're going to try to be a
wait,
play to either get Vucevic or Valanciunas.
I was thinking of
Oh yeah,
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas. Yeah, Valanciunas is with. I would pick up. Yeah, that would be a good move. I'll pick up Valanciunas.
I
So
think so. I think he'd be a little more accessible, depending on what
Yeah.
they got, what they have to give up in order to get him. But that'd be a good move because he's a solid center.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is. Both of them are, to be honest with you, but yeah, definitely. Can I ask y'all a question real quick, Mike, before you move forward?
Sure.
This is I'm gonna start by saying this. This is how you know. I believe, in my opinion, I think Mark Cuban was able to sit back and take advantage of the noviceness of Rob Pelinka. When can you name in history that a GM or owner GM, however you want to call it, has reached out to another team and said, "My superstar is up for grabs." My superstar. We're not talking about a fucking bad back Tracy McGrady or somebody with a fucked up knee that we seen Kawhi. That
Right.
we've seen the greatness of him, but now his knee is just so fucked that he just can't beat it. We're not talking about none of that. We're talking about a budding superstar that just led your team to the finals last year.
That's true. And they're in their prime.
Shouldn't that tell you that it's cause for pause with that?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
The,
I like
the
that.
conditioning
Pause.
thing.
Pause for pause.
Yeah, when you said 270, I didn't realize how heavy he got up to. Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but if that's the case, then yeah, he gotta go.
I saw
That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
They said to him that Mark Cuban had been they just weren't seeing eye to eye on his conditioning and his ethic to work out.
Oh man, that's not good.
Cuban sees it all, so like he's there. He's definitely all up in there. Like so, he probably is. Like it's probably been like this for a while. He's like,
Yeah.
Think of this, and it's reached the borderline.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a video floating around. I don't know if you guys seen it during the finals, like when they made the finals. Michael Finley, I believe that's his name. He used to be on the Dallas Mavericks. I think he's a VP now. He took the beer out of Luka's hand when he gave him a handshake. I'm like, yo, is that real? But now they keep resurfacing it, like they're putting it on Instagram. I'm like, yo, he was for real when he grabbed it out of his hand. So I think there's something there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as far as like maybe issues with like his eating and his drinking and of course his conditioning, because he moves. For somebody that's 25, I thought he was older than that. For somebody that's 25, he moved awfully slow.
Yeah, and I think for me, like this is why I had said, I don't think I said it when I was making my take, but I had said before off camera, I feel like wait, you girls staying upstairs? Okay. I feel like it's gonna hurt the Lakers a little bit, at least in the short interim. Like you need that big body that you don't have. Luka doesn't play defense. That's the other thing.
Nah, he don't play defense.
That's another thing. That's another thing. Good point.
And I mean, it's not like he tries. Like, no, he legit does not play defense. And then when he's one of those guys where even if he's off, he's trying to shoot these mile-long threes, and it's just in the back of the iron going up in the air. He misses the same way. Like, it's wild. So, I mean, you like Brandon said, high risk, high reward. There's only one time where we've seen a trade happen and it worked out. Like right away. And obviously I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. But
Dallas DM said defense wins championships, and that's always the adage no matter what the sport. So
that's true.
If getting rid of someone who doesn't play defense is, I don't entirely. We'll see how it plays out for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a few trades I can think of that worked right away, but they were different players. Yeah. Paul Gasol made an instant impact for the Lakers, went straight to the finals. Kevin Garnett went to Boston and won a championship the first year. Rasheed Wallace came to Detroit and won a championship the first year, even though it was mid-season. But these were all different players in different situations to fit into.
The only reason I use Kawhi is because the Raptors made that trade knowing it was a rental. They knew Kawhi, there was a chance he wasn't going to resign. When those guys got traded, those guys were going to be part of the team. You know, and you're not wrong with what you're saying, but I just mean in terms of like a rental. I don't think it would be a rental either, but I'm just saying like that was one trade where they made the deal. They wanted to win a ring and they did it. You know?
True.
So all right. So a lot here, but I'm gonna flip over to the NFL side. Brandon, we're gonna just rip the Band-Aid off.
That's fair.
I just ripped.
I mean, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was one NBA story in there that I was interested in.
Wait, what? Say that again.
There was one NBA note that you had in there that I was interested in talking about myself.
I'm gonna wrap back to the NBA.
Okay, cool.
R&B's got to head out a little early. I want to just make sure we get in these NFL topics.
Gotcha.
I'll wrap back to that NBA stuff.
All right. So how do we want my team?
I mean, unless you want to talk about the Eagles and the Commanders first, but
no. We said we'll rip off the Band-Aid. I don't mind absolutely being, as I watched your guys, podcast last week, and apparently my fan base has not been the greatest. We're like to be a resident Bills Mafia liaison, so to speak.
But I'm putting it to you like this, and I say this all the time: the NFL is not letting Buffalo win that game. I don't care what anyone says, regardless of how they played. Because even though they played like shit,
they played all right.
Hold on, you said they played like shit
compared to how they were playing.
Man, nah, you tripping, Mike. They did not play like shit. Buffalo played a good game. They really got hosed on that first down call. That was crazy. That was crazy.
It's so funny. Like I'm not worried about that at all. Like as a Bills fan, like I'm the one call in there were actually two calls that really pissed me off, and it's not the first down at the end of the game because at the 2-point conversion where they stuffed us, it wasn't like we kind of like no, they stuffed us at that 2-point. I was like we need to pivot from that. So like there being a controversy over 4th and 1, we didn't get the touchdowns. I'm like that shouldn't have been the play call. Like that's on us. That was on Joe Brady. That was on Josh Allen. That was on their ego. They continued to try and push a square peg through a circle hole. It wasn't working. Chris Jones was owning our offensive line that day. They needed to give it to James Cook. They needed to get up on a swing pass to Khalil Shakir. They needed to do something other than trying to force Josh Allen up that D line that has owned us in the postseason these past 4 years. Times we faced them, and this was the best offensive line we've had, and they still win. They didn't pivot. The thing that really upset me was the Xavier Worthy catch in the second quarter, and then later, either in the second or third quarter, when the Mahomes scored a touchdown, Travis Kelce runs up, starts taunting, and then Jordan Phillips comes over, gets over. Travis Kelce flops, and then we get the unnecessary roughness penalty. I think
they fined Travis Kelce $11K.
We had plenty of time. We got the lead back. Josh Allen had a chance with 3.5 minutes to go win the game. We didn't get it done. So, I'm not too worried about the refs. Those two calls sucked, but there were other things that I think that we could have gotten called on if they didn't. So, in my opinion, the refs are a bit of a wash for this game. I'm not upset nearly as upset with Sean McDermott with this game because what are you going to do with Kyer Elam at center cornerback, giving up 20 yards of separation to the ghost of Juju Smith-Schuster? It was absolutely horrible to watch that film.
Well, it's hard. It's just the same old song and dance. It's just like Buffalo can't find a way. Like they'll beat Mahomes in the regular season, but
nobody else ain't really doing that. So I don't want that to be hung on us too much because who else has beat Mahomes more than 2 times in period? other than not even Tom Brady. Tom Brady has done it yet. More it's Tom Brady and Josh Allen that's beaten them more than twice.
Doesn't matter because in the playoffs I own you, bitch.
And I think Joe Burrow's beat him more. That's beat him just. Oh, you're saying more than twice?
More than twice.
Okay, yeah. Nah, Tom Brady gave
Tom Brady's got it, but it's also Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, he didn't play his best game. The very first drive, he almost threw 2 interceptions in the very first drive, and that set us back the entire game. That's why I'm like, this was a team loss. Like everybody, the only 2 people who really stepped up last Sunday were James Cook and Mac Hollins.
Yeah. Where'd he come from? I'm like, yo, what is this dude?
I've never seen a player so ignored by a team, by our fan base, and just so come back, please retire with us. We love you so much. Clueless Mac Hollins. I love that man.
So now, as a Buffalo fan, what would you say it's going to take? Because listen, I don't care what no one says. I don't care what no one says. The Chiefs are winning next week. You know this.
I don't know about that, Mike.
We're gonna get into that.
Yeah,
But the Chiefs is winning next week because, like I said, the NFL, there's too much money in a three-peat. Way too much. And then what's the talk, right? Because if they win next week,
here to stay.
What are we talking about? The reality. The reality is, can they do it again? That will be the story if they win, right? So as a Bills fan, what do you think they need to do or obtain in order to do the unthinkable? Well, because listen,
there's nothing we can do
in the regular season.
That's all. Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL like Tom Brady did.
Oh no,
it's not that I want it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. No, I get it, but
you're asking what we can do. That's my answer. It's not up to us. That's our only hope. I'm hoping for that.
So you don't think there's a piece that they can add? Because my thing is this, and I want to hear your take on that, R&B. Because my thing is this: if Joe Burrow can beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, why the hell can't? That's what I'm saying with a horrible defense, if you ask me.
And a horrible offensive line.
His defense got it done. Joe Burrow had to go 20 yards in overtime to get the win because Patrick Mahomes he had a 21-3 lead. Patrick Mahomes threw that game away. It wasn't Joe Burrow played a hell of a game, don't get me wrong, but Mahomes threw that game away. He got the opening possession in overtime and just chucked it into double coverage. And then Joe Burrow just got to hand it off to Mixon a couple of times and then kick a field goal from McPherson to go to the Super Bowl. He didn't have to score 36 points to lose in overtime without a possession. Every time Josh Allen has played Mahomes, the Chiefs have scored 27 plus.
Right. I get it. He's been handed a bad hand.
That's what it is. It's the defense.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Do you think they can improve on the defense? R&B, I need your take on that because you said you had an idea.
I think that they need to improve on that defensive line. I think that old boy from the Broncos, I don't know why I'm forgetting his name right now, having a brain fart. He's past his prime. He's not that guy anymore. Von Miller. He's not that guy anymore. I do like Ed Oliver and that other young cat that they got, but they need more. They need more on the interior. I feel like their cornerbacks are suspect. Buffalo's defense has been like that all year round. Like they'll have games where it's like, oh man, they kind of look like the old Buffalo with Poyer and them. But then they'll have the games where it's like, oh no, they basically a middle of the pack defense. So they can be had at the end of the day.
I agree with that. The defense is definitely questionable.
Yeah, you got a player at the level of Josh Allen and his skill set. Being the type of player he is, you gotta shore up that defense. The Buffalo's theme all year, especially when it comes to Kansas City, should be about run the ball, play hard-nosed defense.
Yeah,
put pressure on Mahomes. The worst we've ever seen Mahomes play was in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. When the offensive line was banged up, he was running for his life. So that should be the blueprint that if you put pressure on this guy, he's not the same guy. He's not. He can make some miraculous plays or whatever. Don't get me wrong, but he's not the same guy. Buffalo has to run with that format. They got to sure up that defensive line. I would try to get as much young talent out of the draft as I can. I would try to go after whatever free agents I can get in there and make kind of like a rotating defensive line system just for Kansas City, just to play Kansas City. All right, you tired? Come out, get in there, continue the pressure. Watch what Philadelphia do Sunday. I guarantee they're going to be trying to put pressure on. Not saying they're going to win, but I believe that their defensive scheme, they're going to be trying to put pressure on Mahomes all fucking Sunday evening. I guarantee you.
Mahomes has the record for the most yards ran behind the line of scrimmage. 497 yards he ran for.
Yeah, I remember that
Super Bowl against the Buccaneers.
Yep.
Right.
So you have to find ways to make him uncomfortable. That was the only team that made him uncomfortable. You don't. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and that kind of like, and the reason why I'm saying it right now is because R&B definitely hit the nail on his head when he talked about the defense got to be like, it's got to make him feel uncomfortable, and the run game got to be on point. That's why I'm actually considering like stamping Philadelphia as my pick for the Super Bowl win, because I believe they're the only team that can beat Patrick Mahomes right now. Like, seriously, because with the defense that they got and the run game, like Saquon is unstoppable. I don't want to go too far into, the story about, the Super Bowl yet, but I just want to say that's a proven formula that can work. You make Patrick Mahomes feel uncomfortable in the pocket, and you have a run game that can, compensate for whatever throwing you got, because you can't outthrow Mahomes. You can't.
It's not gonna happen.
He's like you just said. Was it averaging 27 points? Come on, that's crazy. You got to put up 30, 35.
I didn't say average. I said that's the lowest we have.
Oh, that's the lowest. See, that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna outgun Mahomes.
That's what it's.
Jalen Hurts actually did in the last Super Bowl.
38.
That is facts. Yeah.
Yeah, the four losses were 27 points, 32, 36, 38, and 42.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. So if they improve on their defense and get of course, get a running back that can put up like 100 plus, they might have an opportunity to beat Mahomes in the playoffs, AFC Championship next year.
I think that running back is on point. That running back that Buffalo has, he's nice. They just didn't give him the ball enough this past Sunday.
Well, that's what I was saying. Run 100 yards, 100 yards plus on him.
I've been wanting to make that one. 4 carries the first half, and then with the defenses, the drop off from Christian Benford to Kyrie Elam cannot be overstated. Like, I can't. Oh my God, that might be the worst cornerback in history. Oh, he's so bad. Like, and just like last year, where we had to deal with, we lost Terrell Bernard in the wild card round, and had to drag AJ Klein out of vacation to go cover Travis Kelce. Like, and that's why he went ape shit last year.
Yeah.
I can't put blame on McDermott for this loss like last year with that bullshit big punt with Hamlin. As far as I'm concerned, McDermott pulled every lever he could have possibly done. Joe Brady did not pull the best of levers. We should have been pounding the rock from the start. And with 2 bad throws. Only 4 rushes for James Cook in the first half. That's why we were down. And we came back because we gave the ball to James Cook. So
right, that's what I'm saying. If he would have put up like more, if he would have ran more, I guarantee you it would have been a better situation.
We got away from our identity. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the truth about what happened with Joe Brady. He got out coached because he coached scared. Like y'all just said, 4 carries for Cook in the first half. Then Cook brings you back, and then when he brings you back, you go away from him because you were too scared of Patrick Mahomes. So you wanted to go with the mindset of we got to keep applying pressure. We got to apply pressure. We got to get it down the field. That's why they were going for it so much on fourth down, and it came back to bite them in the ass. Everybody can't be the fucking Lions or the Redskins.
Put on Joe Brady more than that. Joe Brady's calling the plays. Joe Brady was the one that had to pivot from the tush push. He's one game early, so that
he was so scared.
Lost than that, but there was plenty of blame to go around. Like I said, Josh missed those. Kyrie Elam was terrible. The defensive line didn't get pressure. on the final heat, like Dalton Kincaid missed a very catchable ball. Like, oh, it's hard. I don't want to hear it. Julian Edelman making that catch against the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Like,
that was very Mark Andrew-esque.
And Matt Howard.
It seems like he's
a lot of vitriol for this. Great work.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot less hate than Mark Andrews.
I know.
You know why? Because you got so many people that's trying to say, "Oh, that ball wasn't as catchable as people think." If you look at it, it was a hard. Man, that's a routine backyard playing catch with your son. Catch.
It is.
Like,
It is. I swear it's literally the same exact catch. I'm like, damn, that looked just like Mark Andrews.
But like they say, if it touches your hands, you got to catch it.
You got to catch it.
Let me pose this question to you guys. Apparently, it came out earlier this week that Dalton Kincaid was playing with like a partially torn or fully torn PCL. Like, what's your guys' opinion with playing with injuries like that? And it wasn't even on the injury report. I don't understand that. Like, my personal opinion, if you're hurt like that, don't even put yourself out there. Like, you're
right.
We gotta. It comes to a discipline sort of thing, which goes back to the Luka, conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's all. There's so much more mental involved in sports, and I think that's not exactly, brought to it. Like that's something that the Chiefs really bring to the table is they make you beat yourself, and that's
right.
Well, I think when you're talking those kinds of injuries, having like a sprained finger or a sprained ankle is one thing, but when something you can just tape up and just give it a go. But when you're talking about tears and not putting those tears on the injury report. Well, first of all, teams can be fined for that.
I don't know why it happens all the time, and I'm surprised it doesn't. Like, right? Like, I feel like
because I forget there was one instance where a team didn't report an injury and they got fined by the NFL.
It's absolutely a thing.
So that's the first thing you should. And the teams, I get it. Like it's the playoffs. You want to go out there. You want to play. You want to perform for your team. But if you're physically unable to perform. Yeah, because now, one, you can get hurt even worse, right?
Which
two,
it's a bad thing.
Yeah, and then two, you're hurting your team because let's just say when he did tear something in his knee and he's running, and now it's time to catch the ball and something else tears or pops and he falls, and then now you've thrown a pick, or now he's
That is such a Buffalo Bills play. Don't even put that up. I'm just waiting for that to happen.
You also have to take into consideration that all of these franchises have things called team doctors. And if these team doctors are saying that, this person is cleared to play or he's going to be fine, there's nothing more he can do, then, you know what I'm saying, that's how it is. And that's probably why you see sometimes where it's not always a fine because the doctor probably cleared for them to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
And to that point, me and R&B are big wrestling fans. And when Cody Rhodes returned, he was in this feud with Seth Rollins. And and he was in the gym and he was lifting weights and his shoulder gave out. He tore pectoral muscle straight off the bone.
Oh.
So then he had this huge Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins like 6 days later.
Mm-hmm.
And like when he came to the ring and his music plays, then they go, oh, he goes like this. And he couldn't do it. He kind of went like this. And then when he took the jacket off, if you ever get a chance, go look at the images. It was all black, blue, bruised, red. And no one had seen it. Even Rollins was like, and they were like, they asked him, how did you get cleared? And they told him that he couldn't do any more damage to it. It was at the worst point. Like, it didn't matter. And let me tell you, they went out there and put on one of the best Hell in a Cell matches that I had seen in a long time.
Wow.
And and they were attacking it, but there was no more damage that could be done to it. So, so it's something like that, I can understand. But, if you're hurt, you're hurt. But it's a playoff game, not, week 4.
Yeah.
He's just like,
No, I agree. If you're able to play. If you're not, sit out. And I get it. People are very competitive. People are very, these athletes are,
It's
super
sports is gladiator shit.
Yeah, and it's just like you got to look at it for what it is. A lot of people, especially, a lot of these athletes, especially when it comes down to the playoffs, all of them are playing with injuries. They got they got some type of things that's hurting them. But if you are severely hurt and you feel like you can't go out there and perform to at least a quality standard, then yeah, you need to sit out. And I'm a firm believer that a lot of these athletes that go out there and they perform, I think they're at a standard where they can perform and do their thing, but they're not going to be at 100% ever, especially when it comes down to the playoffs. But like R&B was saying, the team doctors, they're the ones that clear it. If they say they can go out there and perform, so be it. But they also got to use their mind too. Like say, okay, can this guy really play? Can he go out there and catch a ball or can he block? If they can't do that, then I don't think they should.
And it's just like what Brandon had hit on too a second ago, man. It's all in the mental. Remember, a few years
that
back,
is true.
when Lamar Jackson had the injury and everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's a playable injury. It's a playable injury," and he ended up missing the rest of the season, missed the playoffs, and Baltimore got sent home earlier. I think they might have missed the playoffs that year. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? He caught a lot of flack for that shit. He caught a lot of flack for not playing. They said he gave up on the team, but he got himself back 100% healthy and came in and delivered back-to-back MVPs.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? You got to make the best choice for your career, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like one thing I always respected when watching Stephon Diggs on my team is he never took hits that he didn't need to take. Like he got as many yards as he needed to, and then he got down. That's like he went down from a non-contact injury, which felt very easy.
I was just gonna say he just had a freak injury this year.
Yeah, it wasn't he got wrecked or anything. Like no, he's always been very good at he's gonna get as many yards as he can and make sure he's gonna keep himself healthy. I watched him floss on the sideline. Like he was wild.
I'll tell you where he messed up though. Messing with Cardi B.
No lies detected there.
messing with them rappers. So you know what I'm saying? Messing with them chicks that no good. That'll mess you up. That'll do more than mental. That'll mess up your physical too. The ratchets, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. That's allegedly, by the way. I don't want to get sued. They're gonna flag this video. They're gonna be like, no. Yeah, that's defamation.
I already got flagged once, so
I know that's why I gotta put that allegedly out there. I don't know. It could be
quick,
false.
y'all.
Big news.
Real quick, right back to the NFL. I'm looking at SportsCenter. They said this is the first time in NBA history 2 reigning All-NBA players have been traded for each other mid-season. First time it's ever happened.
That's what I'm saying. This is so random.
That's hot.
And on top of that, like I said, you got to remember, both of these guys are still in their prime. They're not old. AD, I think, is like 31, maybe 32. And Luka's 25, bro. I don't understand. Like, how this happened?
Telling you, man. Mark Cuban knows something, man.
He's got to be hurt. Something's up. Yeah, because like think about it. There's some rookies that are like 2 years younger than him.
That's why I like the move for Utah. They're just like
Yeah, right. They chilling. We got Hood Shafino.
And a first round pick.
And a first round pick. They walked away with a first round. What was it? 29?
Yeah.
I think that was.
Yeah, they ain't worried. They like, yo, we ain't gonna make the playoffs in 20 years anyway.
I wonder who they get that pick from, because if it came from the Lakers, that might work out well for them.
Oh yeah, because LeBron gonna retire in a couple years.
The Lakers are gonna go through a struggle period,
and they're gonna go exactly. They're gonna go through that down period of not making the playoffs, and Luka hurt if he's still on the team. Yeah, I think they low key. I think they won the trade. I think you got a point, Brandon. I think they want to trade on the low. Like looking back, this might be one of those.
It's gonna be.
What's my man? Danny Ainge moves.
I mean, it depends on the high variance of the trade, but like they got the safe. Like they don't have the high ceiling of the trade, but they've got the high floor.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They got such a young core in Utah. And of course, this isn't a Utah podcast, so I don't want to go deep into it. But I do want to say that I was watching them play the other day. I'm like, yo, they got some talent on there, and they got a lot of young players, so they can make the playoffs again in a few years.
And
talent, build it up. They're in a position where they don't necessarily need to be making huge home run swings. Just continue to build it up a little bit. Like those two teams, Dallas and LA, they can, they're trying to get there. Utah's on a trajectory right now.
Exactly. And they're a bigger market team anyway. So, Dallas, LA, they're going to make splashes anytime. But whenever you can get some moves for a small market team, it's always a win.
The Jazz.
I think right now I would have to say Dallas won the trade. In my humble opinion, for right now, I think I'm gonna say Dallas won this trade.
And the Jazz got 2025 Clippers second rounder and 2025 Mavericks second rounder.
They got some pieces.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't lose. It didn't seem like they lost anything, right? Like out of that.
Let's stop being subliminal here and just tell it like it is. Utah got hosed.
Utah ain't trying to win. But I do want to know why you said Dallas. Why you think Dallas won?
Because I feel like getting AD, they put more of a formidable team together. You got a solid big man in Derek Lively. You got a perennial all-star at power forward and Anthony Davis. You got Washington Jr. still over there, who's been giving them excellent ball.
Yeah,
you got a solidified perennial all-star at point guard and Kyrie. I feel like they got a solid 1 through 5 with some bench to go along with it.
But they got Spencer Dinwiddie over there too.
He's a solid role player.
I don't know. He messes up a lot.
You just don't like Spencer Dinwiddie because he couldn't take Brooklyn to the promised land, and he's not a promised land player.
Damn right, because he was scoring 30, he was scoring 40.
Somebody who lives in Detroit and had to deal with Stan Van Gundy taking a risk on drafting that bad-legged.
I don't know why. Oh my God. Now I know how y'all feel because I was like, damn, this dude's nice. He had me believing for a little bit.
He's a role player.
Yeah, you're right. I believed him. I was like, yo, he's gonna be an all-star.
The cashiers.
Wait, what'd you say?
Do I have to give you the grocery store run again about the owners, the champions, and the cashiers?
Nah, we got it.
He's a buggy pusher. He's a buggy pusher.
Listen.
Oh shoot, he's not even at the cash. He's not even at the cashier spot.
Nah, he's a buggy pusher.
Oh man, that's bad.
Oh man. Jesus. So also we know the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. And the Commanders ain't got nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely not. They should be absolutely thrilled with how
they got a lot further than anyone picked them. Congrats to Jaden Daniels for getting more playoff wins in one season than Dak Prescott has in 9 years.
Oh, that's foul, bro. That was an unnecessary jab.
I find it.
And listen, part of me
felt like that was a good stat. Mike, I love it.
That's messed up, Mike. I'm not even a Dallas fan. I feel bad for him.
Man.
Part of me wanted Jaden Daniels to win, so I had Lamar slander for him. Because at that point, you got more wins than Prescott in one season, and you went Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson.
But the NFC is nowhere near as congested as the AFC.
I'll give you that. But but back to what really happened, right? So we seen it was it was a legalized statutory on TV.
Damn.
Unfortunately, that's what it turned into. Like I listen, I was cooking and I was kind of going back and forth, and it was like 14 to like 12.
Yeah.
I literally went in the kitchen for 5 minutes. It was 27-14. Look what the hell happened. And
I don't know.
The Commanders just never recovered from whatever happened. They just never recovered.
Saquon happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, he went off.
Well, what I mean is whatever happened in that point, which probably was Saquon, because I remember in the game, like the first play, or second play, he tossed it to him and the dude was gone. I'm like, oh, all right, see you later, Saquon. Good knowing you. But yeah, I mean, the Commanders definitely, without a consistent run game, in my opinion, because it seemed like their run game was a little in and out all season, more out than in.
Commanders.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit was horrible. It was all Jaden Daniels into the playoffs.
Yeah.
He led their team in rushing.
Shout out to number 17, Scary Terry, still that dude, no matter who's the quarterback.
He's always
he did his thing.
He was phenomenal this season.
Yes,
but they got nothing to be ashamed of, and I think they have something to hold their hat on. Honestly,
what you need to be ashamed of is that uniform and their name.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a good run game, so you don't have to compromise Jaden Daniels. You're gonna be in very good shape, But as for the Eagles, we had a feeling they were gonna win this game. They didn't need to really do much except hand it to Saquon. Like literally, that's just what
he's my MVP, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like he's my MVP. If I was gonna vote, he would get. I mean, I think the MVP should be a regular season and postseason award. It shouldn't just be a quarterback award. It should be all like whoever is most valuable to their team. Period. End of sentence. Doesn't matter what position you are. Could have been T.J. Watt. Could have been Justin Jefferson. Whoever is physically most valuable to their team and literally drags them as far as possible.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, then, as a Buffalo fan, because if you
me
want to
too.
look from that stance, it would be Josh Allen. If you take Josh Allen off of Buffalo,
I want my guy under the proper.
No, I'm not saying you don't want him, but I'm just saying, like, to complete your argument, if you take Josh Allen away from Buffalo, that team does not make the playoffs this year. If you take Lamar Jackson off of Baltimore, they have a backup that's serviceable enough, I believe, to at least get them to a first round, get put out. So if you take Saquon off of Philly, this is a team that was in the Super Bowl the year before last and in the playoffs last year.
That's true.
With DeAndre Swift and I forgot who was the running back when they went to the Super Bowl the year before last. Because Swift just had one year last year.
I mean, but Lamar's going to get it, so whatever.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's but if you go off of, like you said, the way that most valuable player is definitely Josh Allen. That's why I picked him for MVP. Because I think if he wasn't on the team, I know for a fact they wouldn't have made the playoffs. But compared to like someone like Lamar Jackson, great quarterback, but if he was off the team, you still got Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? You still got the defense that they got. So I don't know. I think that Josh Allen was playing with absolutely nothing when it comes down to like the superstars around him.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
and to me, that matters when you start talking about MVP. A lot of people don't like to, go from that standpoint, but you can't. I don't understand how we constantly do MVP every year, but we don't look at the more with less statistics.
Yeah. Especially in football too. Especially in football, because like that quarterback, and that's why I think a lot of quarterbacks they're highlighted because they pretty much control the whole offense. The only time I've ever seen that they didn't highlight the quarterback for being the one that controlled the offense is that whole Brock Purdy situation with the 49ers. Like they took that completely away from him. It was like, oh no, he's a game manager. I'm like, nah, actually he's pretty good. He might not be great, but he can find ways to win. So I don't know. That was the only time I've ever witnessed that happened.
He's a game manager, in my opinion. Doesn't take him out of MVP conversation, but I think he is a game manager. He's great at managing the game plan that Shanahan gives him to run. Unlike all the other quarterbacks that Shanahan had there in the past, he's the best at doing it. He's better than Garoppolo at doing it. He's better than who else have they had? They've had like two or three different quarterbacks before.
Oh yeah, they had a lot of quarterbacks that was quote unquote game managers. Yeah.
I almost feel like that's like if you were to take that, kind of make an analogy, sort of. If you were to like in baseball, say like, oh, they just draw a lot of walks. Like, dude's getting on base. That's a good thing. We like that here. Like,
right.
It's not an out. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, his average is probably like 220, and that's not great. But if his on base percentage is 412, like, yeah, well, 4 out of 10 on base,
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, the game manager thing, like, yeah, they're not lighting it up, but, like, if you're doing the right thing to win the game, if you're not turning the ball over, like, I love me some Tyrod Taylor. I just wanted me some Josh Allen more. Like,
right. Nah, I hear you. You know, it's funny because, like, even with the situation going back, kind of circle back to the topic when it comes down to the Philadelphia Eagles, that's what they're kind of doing with Jalen Hurts. I'm like, dude, we seen him we actually witnessed him in the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Why are they making it like he's an absolute nobody? Like,
I feel like you're expecting him to light it up more. You're expecting those stats to be higher with an AJ Brown, with a Dallas Goedert, with a Devontae Smith, with a Saquon. You can just kind of pitch to the side. I get that from that, but he's doing the right thing. He's winning the game. So, in my opinion, he's
doing what the coach game plan says for him to do.
And that's what we talked about last week. Remember, R&B? We talked about that. We was like how Sirianni have the game plan written up. Like, and look, listen, I even said it. I said it last week. I said if the Eagles, if they don't beat the Commanders, then Sirianni's job is on the line because this is all his game plan. This is all what he wants, his schemes. But obviously, they won or whatever. But it just shows you a quarterback can only go as far as the coach wants them to in those type of situations, especially when they're coming from a system that Jalen Hurts came from. You know what I'm saying? When he played in Alabama. And it's like he's coachable. That's what I'm saying. He's not somebody that's going to go out there and just be a rogue quarterback. So I've been pretty hard on Jalen Hurts, but for the past few weeks, it's like hearing all the media talk about like, oh, he's not a real quarterback. He's a game manager. I'm like, nah, that's a little bit overboard.
And then you also have to look at this standpoint from it too. I'm not trying to take nothing away from Saquon Barkley. But do you see the holes that this man is running through?
Man.
I think all four of us could at least get 80 yards in some of the holes that I've seen this man run in the game. In one game, not one carry, but in one whole game.
Yeah. I agree.
I've seen this man run through.
Oh, it's amazing.
Why would we not give him the ball?
Hell yeah.
The
Especially
more times the quarterback throws the ball, the more time it's at risk for a turnover. So if I have a running back in the offensive line that I can give it to, and this dude literally standing in the pocket and looking at the quarterback saying, I'm about to score this one. As we all seen him constantly replay it when he looked and said, I'm about to score this. And he goes and does it, 75 yards and does it. Man, I'm giving the fucking running back the ball. I'm running him into the ground.
That's facts. Yeah, like he did with the Commanders. Like that was a 2 handoffs, so you got a touchdown. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, come on. This dude is unstoppable.
I was sitting there pissed, like, why the freak did the Lions not do this with Jahmyr Gibbs last week?
Oh, man. Yeah.
I mean, it's I think that when you look at it all together, and you look at what Saquon brings to the table, and you look at how he's just played all season, I mean, he's been unstoppable, and just And just the game planning that they have done all season has been great. It's worked. Like he is the offense. Like, Hurts hasn't been asked to play, play bang bang football. Hasn't really had to throw it in the air. Hasn't really had to run it, make miraculous
on the
plays.
wrong things, which is important.
Right.
Yeah.
They've been able to kind of scale in or focus on just getting the ball, running the offense through Saquon, and it has worked all season.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you a question, or let me ask all y'all a question, I should say.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that Sirianni has chosen to go this route because he's lost faith in Jalen Hurts' ability to throw the ball?
I think partially, but the other thing is I think it gelled naturally, right? Like
With them getting Saquon?
Yeah, he was the perfect piece for what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
And why? And then until someone can stop it, why go away from it?
Well, this started last year though. With you know what I'm saying? Before they got Saquon, this whole talk about Jalen Hurts fell off the face of earth and ain't the same quarterback throwing the ball no more. Like all this started last year. Remember they were what 10-1, and then they lost out and went into the first round and lost.
Yeah, 11-1. Yeah,
I was actually at that Philadelphia Bills game where they
Wow.
went to overtime in the rain. Me and my best friend. That game was amazing to watch, and it sucked so much to have to have lost that game. But it was great. I had a great time. Philadelphia fans were very easy to get along with. Anytime they started talking shit, I was just like, fuck Dallas. And they're like, yeah, fuck Dallas.
Now you're like, damn, we lost and I'm soaking wet.
It wasn't great. No. Yeah, no, my
now you're like, now I gotta ride home. So
yeah, right.
We were covered, and it was still like the wind was like. It got worse. Like the way those two quarterbacks played in that game was incredible. Like it was pouring by the end of the game. Like they both did so. Like it was such a fun game to watch. Like.
So I guess a better way to ask it would be to say that did Sirianni let all of the talks from the meltdown last year change his mindset on how he felt about Jalen Hurts as a thrower of the football?
I could see that.
Yeah.
When you put it in that perspective, I could see that. I do believe that Saquon naturally gelled in the system. However, and like I said, if it's working, there's no need to go away from it. Like look at like the Niners a couple years ago in the Super Bowl against Mahomes. They were running the ball, getting 5.7 yards a carry. Second half, what's his name? What's the coach's name there? Oh God,
Shanahan.
Yeah. Throw the ball. Why? And then you start.
We all know that's his MO though. Remember the Atlanta Super Bowl against the Patriots when he stopped running the ball when they was tearing the Patriots ass up, and he decided, I'm gonna let Matt Ryan be the MVP.
So
throw the whole team away after that.
I do believe. I'm sorry because I'll finish my.
No, that's all good.
Yeah, because I kind of just used another example to make my point, but I do believe that it was natural. But I also agree that Sirianni, more so less than losing faith in Jalen Hurts, he knows if he didn't get it together, he's out the door.
Yeah.
He was coaching however he needed to keep his job. So now, even if you don't win next Sunday, you got there. So now they're gonna let you rock at least another season to live another season. Go ahead, Roger.
No, I swear I was going to say that as far as like the ability to work in a system where he can actually win and keep his job. I swear I was going to say that because like I was saying before, Sirianni was on a hot seat because of the way he coached last season and how the things turned out when they went, I believe 11-1, right? Was it 11-1?
11-1, and then they ended up like, or no,
and then they lost out. So to answer your question, RB, and not to be long with the question answer, I believe it's 50-50. I feel like Sirianni was like, okay, what can we do to maximize our win potential? Plus, what can we do to make sure that Jalen feels comfortable as far as, gaining his confidence back as a quarterback? Because last season was brutal for him. It was horrible. But I think he just needed to feel like I can do it again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And ironically, they was able to get a piece that came into, free agency basically, and ended up on the Philadelphia Eagles with Saquon Barkley. And you don't have to throw the ball so much. So now you got a running back that can basically get damn near 180 yards, 200 yards a game. So it's perfect. I think this is a perfect match, and I hope that we learn from this, because you don't have to win just one way. There's multiple ways of winning, and if your defense is on point, that's a solid formula right there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I would agree that I think that Sirianni had to kind of pivot a little bit, watching Jalen Hurts struggle last year and watching him struggle this year. If I'm not mistaken, he had a ton of interceptions to start the season, and then they started running the ball a lot more with Saquon, and that's limited Jalen's turnovers and led to Saquon having an all-world year. I just feel like I don't want to say maybe he's lost faith in Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, maybe as a passer, but maybe a little less confidence, or needing to feel like he needs to scheme around him a little more, or help him out knowing he's not the guy that's going to light it up by himself like a Josh Allen, like a Patrick Mahomes, like Mark Jackson. Like, he's closer to a game manager than a superstar, but once again, game manager is not a bad thing.
It's definitely not a bad thing.
No.
You can be a superstar game manager.
Who's that?
You can.
He said you can be a superstar game manager.
Is Tom Brady not the greatest game manager of all time?
I can't remember that.
You gonna sit here and say Tom Brady was a game changer, Rod? Stop. He's not.
You know what? No. I never said that. I'll never put him in that conversation. But I don't know. I view Tom Brady as like an anomaly, because you gotta understand, RB. He's in my division. He was in my division, bro. This dude
was ass.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to point out to you that Tom Brady looked like a superhero to us.
Because the division was ass. It was nobody to compete. Do you think he would do the same thing in this division right now? With Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills as presently constructed?
No. Exactly. Still couldn't beat him. No. Josh is 0-4 against Tom Brady, so.
but that was a younger Josh, though. That was a younger Josh, more inexperienced,
and an older Tom Brady, more mature Tom Brady too.
We got to face Tom Brady.
And Tom Brady also got the best of Patrick Mahomes too. So
he sure did, and got up out of there. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass the torch down to Young Bucks." He said, "I can't do it no more."
Yeah, he might have got up out of there, but he went to the NFC, met him in the Super Bowl, and got the best of him again.
Facts.
I saw a meme where it said Tom Brady said he'll retire when he starts sucking, and it's like, this is taking too long.
Yeah, that's true though.
It's a difference between game manager and game changer. I understood completely where Cam Newton was coming from when he made that whole analogy that everybody tried to, annihilate him about. And Tom Brady is definitely a game manager. He's just the greatest to ever do it. He's the greatest game manager of all time.
His pocket presence was elite, like bar none. He had he only got more athletic as he got older. That was weird. Like I remember seeing him on the Buccaneers. I don't know, because Raj, you got to see him twice a year too. Like, this motherfucker's faster now. What the hell? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I couldn't really fully agree at the point, because I'm like, I don't know. I kind of low key see him do some superhero stuff. And I'm not saying you're wrong, because overall he is a game manager. But he was whooping our ass. I'll just say that, and this left me PTSD.
When you're a game changer, that means the teams are scheming for you. Nobody
I see what you're
schemed for
saying.
Tom Brady.
Yeah,
They schemed for the
Yeah,
weapons around Tom Brady, whether it be low level weapons or high level weapons. They were still the weapons that they had to scheme for in order to try to stop, what the Patriots wanted to try to do. When you
right.
go against Lamar Jackson, when you go against Josh Allen, when you go against Patrick Mahomes, all of these different, mobile guys and stuff like that, these guys are more game changers. You're not just scheming to stop Travis Kelsey.
Right.
You're scheming and Worthy and Hopkins. You're scheming to try to stop Patrick Mahomes too, because he can
Yeah.
kill you with his legs, and that's just the difference. That's all. It doesn't
Receive.
make you any less of a quarterback. Just a different set of skills.
The
Yeah.
only one no one could stop. I remember one Super Bowl. I think it was the Seattle one. They there was one drive left for them to win the game. It might not,
10 years ago
I
today.
don't remember, but I know there's this one drive where what's he do first? Play action, Gronk. Okay. I turned to my father. I said, they need to just cover Gronk. Would they do the second throw? Play action the other direction, Gronk. Would they do the third play? Little trickery, Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
Do the fourth play, Gronk. Who scored in the end zone at the end of the Gronk. It's just like, okay, like if they're doing the same thing and you're single covering Gronk, why? Like, why aren't you trying to make him? You got to scheme to get the ball. Like, if it's me, I'll be like, y'all gonna win. You're gonna win. You ain't.
Yeah, we're
winning.
taking them out the game.
You ain't winning
Yeah.
with Gronk. You gonna win. You gonna win with Barry.
With
Bonds
Edelman.
here.
Who's going to catch it a quarter of an inch off the ground anyway?
That
Whatever.
random
Yeah.
dude over there, I want him trying to win you the game.
Right.
They'll
You're
find
not
a
gonna-
way. Like
you're
that's
not
what
gonna
it is.
win with Gronk.
The Chiefs got those role players that are just going to find a way to win in those moments. The Bills do not.
Yeah.
The Eagles, they might. I can't attest that they don't because they played well, 2 years ago. The analogy that I heard was amazing for that Super Bowl. It's like going on a first date with someone who's absolutely gorgeous. She checks like every box. She's fun to talk to. She has same interests. She has career. She's good head on her shoulders, good family life, etc. And you go home and the sex is terrible. That's what that Super Bowl was.
Shoot.
The first 58
Wow.
minutes of that Super Bowl were awesome, and then just man, that ended in a
But look, we all know you can teach her. You can teach
That
her.
is facts. That's a fact. That's a fact. Preach, R&B.
My wife's face, she's right here, was just
So let's stop using feet.
Mike taught her.
shaking her head.
Oh man.
That's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, but that's a good analogy though. I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. I think it led right up to that to like, damn, what the hell is this?
It's like it just sat like, and then Hail Mary.
And then let's not forget about that horrible Patriots Rams Super Bowl.
Oh no, I erased that out of my brain. That was you remember how in Men in Black they used to take the pin and hit the memory and erase the whole I don't even remember that.
Oh, bro.
And combining that with we're one offsides from Chris Jones and one terrible
man.
Saints, like
listen, I don't know. I've seen some pretty rough Super Bowls, but that one,
that was the roughest.
That was the worst.
That one in New York, the Denver and Seattle.
Yeah, it's just a blowout though. Like,
yeah, but I just like competition. It's
really
just,
scores.
you know what? I seen first play when they snapped the ball over Peyton's head. I said it's over.
I said the same thing.
It's gonna be that kind of.
That defense just was not having it that day. They were just outmatched. That Denver team was outmatched.
I'm surprised the NFL didn't pivot to a more defensive approach after that, considering how historic that 2013 Broncos was.
How bad it was. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta think about it. Where's the money at?
Regular season.
Peyton Manning or Legion of Boom? It's
Yeah.
always gonna go with the quarterback. Look
Oh,
who's
yeah.
still getting commercials to this day. It's not
Facts.
Richard Sherman. Bobby Wagner is still in the league. It's not Cam Chancellor. It's Peyton and Eli.
Yeah.
Well, Richard's on Thursday night. He's got that going for him, I guess. Hanging out with Fitzy.
Yeah.
So yeah, where are you guys at with the Super Bowl? Raj, I think you said Eagles.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Eagles. Reluctantly because I already know how it's going to turn out, but I'm just hoping. I'm really hoping that somehow, some way, the referees do the right thing, and we find a way to get an even game. And Saquon put up like 250 yards, and they find a way to win. That would be great for America.
America.
Because I think after that Buffalo Bills game, like they have a bad taste in their mouth about the Chiefs. I heard they was trying to boycott the game and all that. So,
I mean, I don't want to say I'm going to boycott it, but I've never been less interested in watching a Super Bowl in my life.
see, that's what I'm saying. It's a bad taste. So,
I can say I've been less interested any year Tom Brady was involved.
But that's where we're at now. Like
yeah.
So we're getting to that point. I will say I'm not there yet because I like history. I'd like to see its three-peat with Super Bowls personally. Because I've seen a lot of things happen that weren't supposed to happen in my life, like in sports, like the all-time points record being broken. That wasn't ever supposed to happen. It happened. That's the only one I could think of. I know there's been other ones, but like if I see the steals record broken, then something's wrong, or the assist record, something's wrong.
We saw the 3 points.
Let me raise you this. So you said you want to see the three-peat. So if we continue on that trajectory of like I want to see history, so what if they win next year? Okay, they tie the Bills' all-time 4 in a row conference championships, one. And then the next year, they get to have the record all time. And then you do it again. Then they have the Steelers 6 times. Like they're just gonna keep greatness. It's got to stop. The Eagles have to win.
Yeah, they gotta win, man. This the only hope we got.
Because like the Bills jargon for the past 4 or 5 years.
Is this the Super Bowl or is this some type of fucking Marvel movie? I feel. I hear Brandon and I'm hearing Raj like this is the only hope we got.
It's both. It's both, R&B.
So I guess Saquon showing up with a Captain America shield and Jalen Hurts is Iron Man and
we need them to save us. Captain America, save us.
Patrick in the Infinity Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, he's Thanos. With all the rings. Thanos Mahomes. Yo, no, all jokes aside though, I can't anymore. Like I can't take it. We had enough. I get it. He's a great quarterback.
Respect greatness when you see it, man.
Listen, next thing you know, the Invitational is not about to be the AFC Championship anymore. We just call the Super Bowl the Invitational. That's
about to become the Patrick Mahomes Invitational. It's crazy.
Look, respect greatness when you see it, fellas. Patrick Mahomes is the love child of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. If they were to have a baby, it would be Patrick Mahomes. Respect greatness when you see it. Look, I'm gonna tell you, when he's not there anymore, you're gonna wish he was there again because all of this anticipation and hatred and want for him to lose, it won't be there anymore. Now you're gonna be hoping for something new to come along for you to hate and want to lose.
Would love to not.
That's facts. Yeah, that is facts. And you need a bad guy. You do need a bad guy.
Well,
you need a villain.
I'm gonna say this. I like Mahomes. And,
I do too.
I just think he hasn't, he gets in my team's way, but he gets in everyone's team's way in that conference. So I've just
The
given up
NFL, especially Big Ben.
for now. But I will say this. Here's why the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Outside of my conspiracy theory belief that the NFL won't allow the Eagles to win, they want the history,
Money.
much money involved. The
Of course.
football reasons. Now the reasons, if we ever do make it to ESPN, the reasons I'm supposed to say, not those reasons, is I believe that in order to win this game, Jalen Hurts is going to have to do stuff he hasn't been asked to do all season. You are not, I don't care what you say, you're not going to win this game on the back of Saquon Barkley. Andy Reid isn't going to allow it. It's not going to happen. It's not. Now, I'm not saying he can't run for 200 yards. I don't think he will. But I'm not saying it can't happen. But guess what? Jalen Hurts going to have to throw that ball.
Yes, sir.
A.J. Brown going to have to make some plays.
Yes,
Smith
sir.
going to have to make some plays.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have to mix it up because that scheme of running with Saquon, it ain't gonna work for 60 minutes.
The Spags
And
definitely take
you gotta
the
remember too, we gotta,
Good point, Brandon. Good point.
What'd you say?
I told Brandon good point, Spagnolia.
I didn't hear.
Spag's going to take away Barkley like Belichick would back in like he identifies your biggest thing, and that's his game plan. And Spagnuolo is definitely by far one of the best coordinators in NFL history.
Fact.
So now if let's just hypothetically say that's a success, or even if you can slow him down, put a dink in what he's doing, what's the other option? Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball.
Yes.
And he has not done that
He
very
can run the
well.
ball too. He's not completely immobile. He can
He can run. What I'm saying is he hasn't been asked to do as much all season. So
Absolutely.
to expect him to put on his heroics and in the biggest game when you got someone who's got that championship DNA in their blood and who's ready to say, okay, we're coming in, and he's gonna say, fuck this, I'm winning this shit. He's gonna be on some shit. 87's gonna be on some shit. That bitch up there in the rafters is gonna be on some shit. Yeah, I said it. Fuck her too. And you know what? Fuck
He
the
really want to.
Fuck the
Whoa. Mike, you going to get us flagged, bro.
Huh?
You going to get us flagged.
Fuck the
You know you can't talk about Taylor Swift like that.
I didn't say a name. Last time I
my
said
bad.
the name, you got flagged. You said the name. I
My
said
bad.
I didn't say a name. And I didn't say the name at the halftime show either. But fuck that show too. Fuck that.
Oh man, Mike is crashing out.
Hater.
I'm just like, yo, why couldn't you perform at the inauguration?
Oh man.
Everyone's hating on Snoop. I'm mad at him too, but damn, why ain't you perform? Do me a favor and do that. Perform for him so everyone can hate you, please. Then we know we like
Snoop did not perform at the inauguration.
Oh man.
well, wherever he performed,
ASAP Rocky.
they mad.
Can I? All right. I know we got to get back to the sports topic, but I got to ask the question, Mike. What is your take on Kendrick Lamar?
In terms of what?
R&B know what I'm gonna say.
In terms of what?
That's what I'm
What is your take? What is your take on Kendrick Lamar right now as an artist?
He's a phenomenal artist. I love his
Okay.
music. I just don't like him and how everyone acts like he's God's gift to rap, and he's not. He's not. He's just not. He's not.
Who acts like that? Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna go down this rabbit hole because I gotta go. But we gonna have to have a separate.
Yes,
show
we
where
got to do a music. We got to do a music segment.
around this because I do not agree with the narrative that people act like that.
Oh man.
I don't agree. If anything, people act like that about Drake, and the Drake fans are the ones that's mad that somebody finally put him in his fucking place. Because everybody tried to act like Drake was this motherfucking incredible guy that nobody could beat until he toppled over Meek Mill.
You will never ever hear me defending Drake. Fuck the
Oh man,
Drake lovers too. But what I'm saying,
J. Cole, the best out of all of them anyway.
oh man,
that's my point.
I needed that laugh.
But what I am saying is, yes, listen, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to say it. There's a certain set of fans who are in the same category. You know, Homeboy's wife. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The bitch in the box at the Chief games. That certain type of supporters, you know, why people are mad at Snoop Dogg. Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh man.
Cody Rhodes fans for my wrestling.
Fuck you.
Are you a Cody Rhodes fan, RB?
Yes, I am.
He fucked himself.
Oh man.
I'm throwing Ravens fans up there. I cannot believe they're still talking shit. Lamar's 0-2. How are you still talking shit?
And then so you got all those groups of fans, you know, all those people, right? And then you got what I call the Kendrick cocksuckers.
Man.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, listen, I said some remarks about Kendrick. Listen, maybe one day I'll hear him make a diss track about me. I'll go viral. I'm like, hey, it's a win.
Yeah. You're like the biggest Kendrick hater, bro. Oh man. You're pulling a Kendrick on Kendrick. That's crazy.
I wouldn't.
If it's about love and hate, I'm your biggest hater.
And then on this new album, like two of my close friends I grew up with, they're big Kendrick fans. So like Kendrick had a song where he sampled a Tupac beat, and
that's dope.
Anyone who knows me knows I'm a big Tupac fan.
Absolutely.
I gave him his credit, but I ain't like it.
Sounds like hate.
I like his music. I'm a fan of his music, but you're not God's gift to rap. That's all I'm saying. Like people,
I don't think nobody thinks that.
Listen, that's just I didn't say anyone thought it. That's how I'm feeling it.
But in order for you to feel it, it would have to be some type of push for that. Like you can't just feel some shit out of nowhere. You can't come in the house and be like, babe, you feel like you the shit. And she ain't did nothing to indicate that she feels like she the shit. Like it don't make sense.
Put it to you this way. Listen, when you have everyone and their mother every time Kendrick could say I'll shit on your mother, take it off her and slap her in the face. Niggas will think it's the hottest shit since sliced bread. So when people come to me and they're like, I get DMs and messages, yo, you hear that new Kendrick by like 8 or 9 different people, and you see it all over the internet, bro. Come on. People believe he's God's gift to rap.
You know why, RB? I'm gonna answer why he feel that way. I'm not trying to speak for you, Mike. Yeah, go ahead.
That's no different than when J. Cole in any of the other big three dropped.
I agree, and that's what I was going to say.
I don't think Cole gets the same attention as much.
That's not true.
No, man. But you know what I think it is?
Hold on. He got more attention for backing out than for releasing the song. And Drake, we know because Drake has numbers, regardless if people like it or not. Drake's always in.
Yeah, he got numbers.
You know what it is, R&B? I think it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel you feel that way because Kendrick's the type of dude. He'll come out every once in a while, and when he drop music, it's like it hits the internet and it goes completely viral, and then he'll disappear for like 2-3 years. And then he'll come back and drop another album or drop another song. And everyone's like, oh my God, Kendrick Lamar just dropped some heat. And then he'll disappear for like 5 years. Is that the case, Mike? That he's not a consistent rapper like the rest of these rappers out here?
Yes. I'm not saying like that's because listen, you will never ever hear me say I'm not a fan of his music.
That's a silly reason.
You would never ever hear me say it. But listen, I like consistency, homie.
I mean, I'd rather there be inconsistency with Kendrick taking his time to make sure that he's putting out than Drake putting out mid-ass music that mid-ass people continuously to listen to over and over and over again.
Yeah, hype it up and big it up like it's great.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. As a fan of music and art, I agree with that.
As a historian of music, most of the great artists always took time to put together well-crafted masterpieces before they dropped them.
Yeah.
You're not going to find too many great artists who constantly drop, and it was always consistently great.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. Usher takes 6 to 7 years to drop an album, but then when he drop an album, he hit us with some fire. Now, it might not blow up as like it used to do because the nigga 40-some years old, so people not paying attention to him like that no more. But he'll take forever to drop an album, and then he hit you with the album he hit us with for the Super Bowl last year. That shit was fire.
Listen, this nigga Chris Brown be dropping 60-track albums kind of close together.
And that shit be mid.
Nah, I think that's oversaturation.
2-3 radio hits. And maybe 2 or 3 songs that's on the album that's dope, and then the rest of that shit just be like, bro, what are you talking about, Chris? This sound like a bunch of cocaine sniffing, pill popping, and getting drunk and fucking bitches bullshit. Stop! It's not the same Chris Brown, bro. When Chris
allegedly, allegedly, I want to throw that out there. We don't want a lawsuit.
No, I'm not saying that no clone or no shit like that. I'm just saying when Chris Brown was at his height, he was dropping like music, good, consistent music. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Mike just finding a reason to hate Kendrick Lamar to find a reason to hate on Kendrick Lamar. That's my personal opinion.
But I've said on camera and to you, I like his music. I don't like him. There's plenty of people who are like that. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it, but just make sense to the argument that you presenting.
Make this take so personal for some reason. And it's not like I'm saying,
you don't get personal.
You will never hear, and that's why I've named people the Kendrick cocksuckers, because they take this so personal. Like I'm like, yo, he's a terrible artist. He's the worst ever. It sucks. I never said that. I love.
I'm not saying. Did you hear me? Did you hear me one time say? Did you say any of that? I said make your argument make sense, because the argument that you're stating does not make sense. I don't have a problem with you not liking him as a person, but liking his music. Don't make me no difference. Don't make me sleep less or eat less. Fuck with my appetite. None of that shit. But at least make the argument make sense. You're saying that he gets all this hype, and I'm saying it's no different from any of the other ones like Drake and J. Cole.
I don't see it.
Lil Baby. It's no different.
Drake gonna, like I said, Drake gonna get the like Beyonce, Taylor. He gonna get that because he has the numbers to do it. Like in my opinion, Drake's the third biggest artist behind those two. You can't deny him that, right? So
I wouldn't say that anymore.
From a number,
maybe 2-3 years ago.
Only from the numbers. I'm saying maybe not so much scores these days. He's starting to fade. But, he's still there in that regard, just numbers-wise.
Okay.
When you're looking at tours and numbers, Beyonce and Taylor are killing. They're killing them. They're killing everyone. And I have nightmares of them going on tour together, like nightmares. Like if that happens, I might actually cry. The Swifties and the Beehive together, like
say the Swift Hive tour.
Those would be the most expensive tickets ever.
Oh man. But I will say this, guy.
I can pay $80 and I get to meet these guys.
Exactly. But I will say this, guys. I feel like Mike has the same type of sentiments when it comes down to Kawhi Leonard too.
Bro. Listen,
but his argument with Kawhi Leonard makes much more sense, though.
You really gonna make me bring up Ben Simmons, bro? Really?
No, no. Please. Anybody but Ben Simmons. I can't do Ben Simmons because at least at least Kawhi plays. Okay? Ben Simmons don't even play a game.
So Kawhi was like, yo, I'm going to go back, and then LA going to go on fire so I can take more time off.
Yeah, like I look at Ben Simmons as a scam artist. So I don't even consider him an athlete.
Now,
But anyway,
Ben Simmons created a heist with the Nets. Like that.
Yeah, he definitely got us.
Damn, that's a
He
heist.
got us.
They supposed
Definitely
to be coming
got
out with a documentary called The Australian Heist.
So,
Oh man.
Who's the bigger robber, Ben Simmons or Kirk Cousins?
Low key, Kirk Cousins got it. And that's my guy.
At least Kirk Cousins play.
But Kirk Cousins at least tried. But he definitely got the bag though. He walked away with a huge bag
He has
with
like
Atlanta.
160 million through his. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was something.
It was crazy. Guaranteed money too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you won't see that in NFL, especially when you consider it somebody that's like a mid quarterback.
Literally.
absolutely. But I wanted to ask a question.
This will be my last one, and I'm gonna head out of here because I gotta go, check out this crib. But I'm gonna stay for this real quick.
Do you guys think Justin Tucker and Deshaun Watson have been hanging out lately?
I should have went over and left.
Oh man. Oh no. You definitely ought to get
I'm gonna get my piece on this, and then I'm gonna be out of here.
Yeah, go ahead, R&B. Go ahead.
Look, this is how I see it. It's 2025. I don't want to hear shit about no shit that you talking about from 2012 to 2016.
I totally agree with that.
Especially when we had 3 years. Go ahead.
The only reason I said that is because I seen a meme of the two of them, animated meme, and they were shaking hands. That's the only reason I worded it that way.
And a massage parlor, masseuse behind him. In the background, got a whole line in them.
Antonio Brown tweeted the image with the caption Justin Tugger.
he is horrible.
Yo, he need to be on ESPN. That dude need to be on ESPN. I don't care what nobody say. He's hilarious.
Yeah, we are all in on CT ESPN.
Yeah, I agree.
All in. That shit's hysterical.
Oh man, Justin Tugger. Well, go ahead, R&B. What was you gonna say?
So this is what I'm saying, man. I don't want to hear nothing about 2012 to 2016, especially when we had 3 years of the saga of Deshaun Watson that was just recent. And you telling me through all of that, these supposed to be the same exact accusations that you're saying happened well before this. And nobody had the cognitive sense to say, let me capitalize on this and come out with my story why this shit going on with Deshaun Watson, or let me try to get a civil suit against Tucker while this shit is going on with Deshaun Watson. And here we are 2 years removed from the situation with Deshaun Watson. And all of a sudden, here y'all come on to cry wolf about some shit from 2012, allegedly spanning from 2012 to 2016. Ladies, with all due respect, respectfully, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm sorry. I'm sick of this shit, dog. I'm sick of this shit. This shit is getting beyond ridiculous with these women, with these accusations. Now, I'm not saying that if he did it, that is gross. It's wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's nothing wrong with it. But it's just something suspect about the fact that you waited over almost 10 years. I mean, in some cases, over 10 years now.
Look at Bill Cosby, 30 years, 40 years.
Yeah, dig it up. Yep.
It's just even worse with the whole Deshaun Watson shit being right in the middle of the saga. That's what just makes it worse for me, because it's like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm putting myself out there. If something were to happen to me, and then I didn't speak up about it right away, but then I see something happen to somebody else that was the exact same thing, and they speak up about it, wouldn't that kind of trigger you to be like, well, shit, let me go ahead and speak up about my same exact situation while they're speaking up about their same exact situation from a
Right.
different counterpart right now? Not wait damn near 3-4 years after that similar situation to now all of a sudden want to come with this shit. And I will also say this. It is kind of triggering for Justin Tucker because it felt like he knew something was coming down the pipe because he went on this year to have his worst statistical year as a kicker in NFL history. That's something to write home about. But other than that, man, I'm sorry. I stick with my preference, man. Ladies, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's too late now. It's too late now. You should have said something then. Don't come with all this 10 years late. Say something.
I imagine the
It's,
longer you
it,
wait, the harder it is to prove.
that's what I'm saying. And then none of y'all had a silver suit or nothing. Nobody
Yeah.
tried to do a silver suit or nothing. Fuck out of here with that shit. And with that, man, I'ma just leave it, man. Y'all have an excellent rest of the show. I'm
Man,
gonna try to
appreciate
tune in
you.
while I'm driving, man. But I'll see you guys if not sometime this week, next Sunday. But we gonna have that music discussion, Mike. We gonna have that music. I'm gonna tear your ass up too, boy. You better be ready, boy.
You can do all the tearing you want. My mindset on Mr. Lamar will never change. Ever.
That's fine.
Ever.
That's fine.
Listen, you got a better chance at me going to a Taylor Swift concert than liking Kendrick Lamar. You got a better chance at me liking the Mariah Carey song at Christmas than me liking Kendrick Lamar.
You're gay. You're gay.
I'm just telling you how it is.
Oh man.
I'm just telling you as it is.
Oh man.
There's a better chance.
Terrible.
There's a better chance
Terrible.
that Ben Simmons will play a whole season.
Yeah.
So that shows you.
I will talk to you guys. I will talk to you guys next Sunday. I'm about to go crowd.
All right, RB.
Later.
All right, man. See you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna flip back. There was two NBA topics I wanted to get in before the show's over.
Yes.
The first is Adam Silver is flirting with the idea of moving the quarters from 12 minutes to 10 minutes.
I hate it. I hate it.
He makes the worst decisions. But yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your take on this because I'm about to freaking get rid of Adam Silver.
I'm gonna tell you, I feel like a lot of the decisions he's made aren't good for business. I think he has, like, I'm not too big on the NBA Cup. I don't think it's a bad concept. I know you're big on it. I'm just not big on it. I mean, listen, just play on a regular court for me, please. Like, you don't need this bright blue, these bright rainbow colors.
Yes.
Another thing I wasn't big on was the play-in. I just think it should be 1 through 8. You didn't play well enough, you don't get in. I mean, that's just my thing. I'm not with it. The NBA going to Amazon next season. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Like, I don't like it for the NFL. And that's 1 game a week. The NBA's, they're going to have 2 to 4 games possibly a week. Don't like it. Now, we have this. We have this. 10-minute quarters. You're really edging the. Oh, hold on. Rephrase. I missed the All-Star weekend. How he's completely fucked it up. Like, all together. Like, just, listen, when they did the target score for Kobe the first year, okay. I was like, that's cool. Even you wanted to do it this second year of his passing, cool. But to do it for like 3 years, 4 years, and then you change it, and then back to normal, which I was cool with, and now you change it again, and now there's like 4 teams with 8 players, and the rising stars are in it. It's like, yo, what are you doing? You're doing too much. So then you have that. Now this is like you're changing the trajectory of how the game is played. And he said something to the effect that all the other all the other leagues are doing 10-minute quarters. So if all the other leagues jump off a bridge, you going with them with your big ears? Like
That is such a dad thing to say.
What other leagues are doing this?
I don't know.
The European leagues, the European leagues. I know they do it in Australia. It's pretty much like a FIBA standard overall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm like, shit, at that point, just play 20-minute halves like college. Like,
no.
At that point, you know, so I think this is a terrible consideration. And actually, there was actually an NFL topic I missed that I wanted to talk about too. They're talking about infiltrating a flopping rule next season. Yeah. So, but yeah, 10-minute quarters. I think that's just terrible, god awful. You know, the game's 48 minutes. You know, like even when a few years ago, if you remember, Raj, he was trying to take like 6 games out of the season and condense. There's been rumors of 70 games. I don't like that either. Like, you know, you're hurting the game more than you're helping. Like, I understand, like, there were some things you did, though, I agree with. When, you know, you get an offensive rebound instead of 24-second reset, 14. I'm okay with that. You know, but then again, challenges. I don't like them in basketball. Like, you wanted to make the game faster. So you give the teams challenges to completely stop the game and look at stuff.
Right.
So this is just another way to dilute the game and make me watch less than I already watch.
Yeah.
Bring back David Stern. I don't care if he passed away. Bring him back. Bring him back.
I agree.
Bring him back.
It's tough. Like I've never really been that big into basketball. Like I have my quips or my qualms with how the game is played in certain regards. But like one of the things I've always brought up is like this is the one major sport that does not play a full 60, and I don't like that. So you're going to shorten that, especially when NFL is toying with the idea of an 18th game, even though they would do a second bye, which makes a lot of sense. But I don't like that.
Less preseason game again. They take another preseason game away too.
Yeah, preseason, who gives a shit? So,
Yeah.
But like, in my opinion, as an average sports watcher, like when I watch football, when you start the game, you don't know if the game's gonna be 3-0 or 41-38. When you watch baseball, you don't know if it's gonna be 1-0 or 10-9. If it's hockey, or soccer, you don't know if it's gonna be 1-0 or 5-4. When I start watching basketball, both these teams get into 70, like guaranteed. And if one of them doesn't, it's wide and one. So in my, shortening the game isn't going to change that kind of because like it might just make it like 60 points now. In my personal opinion, I'm curious to see, bring it up with you guys, just hypothetically. It's just something I've always thought of that would personally pique my interest with basketball more, because I feel like, you're scoring 2 or 3 points at a time out of 100 plus. That's 3% of a score. Whereas, watching hockey, at any point, you might see 100% of the goals scored at any given moment, which makes
right.
Sense. So with basketball, I think it should be scored like volleyball or tennis, where it makes it feel like every point is more important. So it would be, first team to score to 21 and win by 4. So you can't just get to 18, hit a 3, and you win. So first team to 21 gets a point, and then first team to 3 points out of 5 wins, which would be roughly about the same amount of points as your average NFL game. That would round up to 105 if they rounds. And then I feel like that would encourage, maybe a little more full court defense, trying to stop the ball from going over half, might make it a little more fast, making sure you're getting the points to potentially stop with all this 3-point stuff that's been going on that I've been hearing about, where everyone's just attempting that and missing a bunch.
Shooting threes, yeah.
I think it would also encourage the use of the bench and the role players more, and make sure that those players are good, instead of focusing on having 60% of your starting 5 be the best players in the world. Like, you got to make sure that everyone's there. I feel like it's crazy to shorten the amount of time that they're playing, shorten the amount of games that they're playing, when you're already, like, soccer plays 90 minutes and their field is so much bigger and they're running the whole time. Like, I don't want to hear it for professional athletes as someone who's fat. Like,
I mean, the only I don't think you're wrong with what you're saying about the scoring, but when it comes down to the big moments, right? When you're in a playoff game and there's 2 minutes left and it's going back.
Oh, that's the best part. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, that's the best part. But it would be the same thing with in the fifth frame, so to speak. Like,
yeah, but then it's just I just think that it would take an element away from those kinds of moments.
That's fair, I guess.
Buzzer
beaters are awesome, no doubt.
Watching someone win a buzzer beater, the one that stands out right now is the Kawhi Leonard one against Philly,
right?
Only because he showed so much emotion, and he don't show emotion ever. And he was like, I was just like, whoa, Embiid was crying. That was funny. But, but he showed so much emotion.
Yeah, I love that.
I just think that type of scoring could take that element away. And that's still one of the few elements of the game I like. I used to watch more basketball than football.
I mean, it would guarantee that there'd be a game-winning shot every game.
Yeah.
It could. You're right. I just think it would
that third frame, you got to win the final bucket.
I just think it would take strategically something away. That's just my personal thought on it.
It would take away the urgency at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It would make it so that because the buzzer beaters, you got 2 seconds. You gotta. It would take that away. I'll give you that. That's a good point. I like that one.
So
maybe there'd be a way to incorporate a clock in the fifth frame or something like that.
So what are your thoughts on it, Raj, on the 10-minute quarters?
Well, as far as the 10-minute quarters, I'm not a fan of it at all because the reasoning behind it that it even happened or even brought it up was silly. Adam Silver said he's trying to shorten the amount of time for the actual game. He said it's right now at 2.5 hours. He said he's trying to bring it down to 2, which I understand. But here's the problem. These games don't start on time. Let's just be honest. These freaking games do not start on time. I can literally turn the TV on and I look at my phone. It says, 7:30, and the game don't start until about 7:50. So you were already messed up. You already put me in a 20-minute deficit. And at the end of the day, basketball is a game that is supposed to be a free-flowing game. It's supposed to be scored. It's supposed to be fun. And it's supposed to be exciting to watch. He's making it super difficult for us to watch a game that is not fun to watch anymore because everyone's chucking up threes. They're not playing defense. And they're basically creating some type of system where you don't care about the team. You just care about the people that are actually scorers. So it's it's really silly. But as far as the 10-minute quarters go, if you want to reduce the time, if you're looking for that to be the answer, taking 2 minutes off of each quarter is ridiculous. Start the game on time and stop using all these media timeouts and television timeouts. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. It's over the top. Then you got the people mic'd up. The athletes mic'd up. They're talking. Then they go on the sideline, talk to the coach. All that stuff is unnecessary.
Yeah.
Play the damn game. Let's go back to the freaking 80s type basketball where people are freaking getting body slammed. And, there's that one player that don't even score. All he does is get rebounds. And he's the greatest player ever. You know what I'm saying? We need that type of basketball back. But Adam Silver, I'm not a fan at all because it's almost like he's a millennial or whatever the freaking thing is called now. What is it? Gen Z or whatever. He's that type of commissioner. He's listening to all these people on Twitter. He's listening to all these people on the internet. He's like, well, I guess we can, incorporate a shorter shot clock. Why? It's been 24 forever.
You mean the original, like when you get the ball, inbound the ball, he wants to make it shorter?
Yeah. He said to speed the game up. It's these little things that really upsets me because I know he's trying to be innovative. but you're not David Stern. I'm sorry. You're not someone that's a game changer. Keep the game the way it is.
And there's certain things that don't need to be changed. It's like next thing he's going to be saying is, you know, how you got the 8-second rule to get over the half court, but we're going to make it 6 seconds.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's trying to essentially what he's trying to do is speed up the game. If you want to speed up the game, like I said, start the game on time like they do the NFL, right? If you know there's kickoff at 1, there's kickoff at 1. Tip-off should be at 7:30 or 8:30 or whatever the time is. That should be the time the tip-off happens.
Listen, you see kickoff 1 p.m., 1:02, they kicking the ball.
That's what I'm saying. Start the damn game on time. And then on top of that, like when we talk about other stuff, and I know it's just kind of like off topic, but it's about Adam Silver. We talk about like the play-in and stuff like that. I'm not much of a fan of the play-in, but I get it. I get the reason why he did it, to keep the teams competitive. But also, like, the NBA Cup. I love the NBA Cup. I think it's exciting. But here's how you keep them competitive. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if you feel differently. What if they said, in order for you to get paid, you got to win? How would that change the game? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Like win games or win championships?
Win a game. Like loser, lose money. Like you don't get paid that day.
That's a game.
I think that'll quickly send the NBA back to the 80s and body slam.
Exactly. That's my whole point. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That would be awesome. I'm here for it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would make the NBA exciting. And I've always said that. I'm like, look, because I watch a lot of sports. I watch like international sports. And one of the things I love about European soccer, which they call football, right? If your team doesn't make it to a certain point in the league, you're out of the league. Your team is literally out of the league in certain soccer leagues, like those major leagues, right? So I'm like, look, I know they can't do that in the NBA. There's 30 teams, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But what if they don't get paid for that game if they lose? I guarantee those athletes will show up on time, and I guarantee they'll play their hardest to win, because $1 million check that day is worth everything. So, yeah, I that's just my take on it, guys.
Oh, yeah. I'm reading here. There's a rumor out here that the Commanders are going to try and trade for Kyle Pitts.
What?
Okay. I mean, Zach Ertz did pretty well, right? Like,
yeah, I thought Ertz did great.
I mean, it's a second tight end isn't going to hurt.
I mean, Ertz is older. He's been.
Yeah, he is. He's a vet.
Younger, and it's still only 24, 25. He was drafted young as hell.
Yeah, Pitts. This was his third season, and I think Atlanta underuses him personally.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the first 2 seasons,
that's a solid move for Commanders. They're really doing good things since Dan Snyder left.
I think that if they get Pitts, I think that's a game changer. The Commanders, it gives Jaden Daniels another option, even if Ertz doesn't leave, and you got the bailout option, so he don't have to run as much either.
They're gonna go looking for like a Saquon in the offseason, I think.
Yeah, they gotta find a running back.
Yeah, if you can do for Jaden Daniels what the Eagles have done for Saquon, they're gonna be really dangerous.
I agree.
And the last topic I got is Mr. Jimmy Butler. Mr. Jimmy Butler. Lord, he wants to be traded so bad. Like, what are your thoughts on him being suspended again?
It goes back to the mental that we were talking about. It's big in this sport. It makes a big difference. It's discipline. It's the will of wanting to play and being part of a team sport, and it's a big thing. I think it's not taken seriously enough in professional sports.
I mean, I just feel like everywhere he goes, I guess I never really thought about it could be mental with him, but I guess so.
It is.
Everywhere he goes, he has now become the Antonio Brown of the NBA.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think about it. Like when he left Chicago, I don't think really anything happened there that I can remember at that time, at least. And then where'd he go? Was it Philly?
I'm sure it's quite like Ron Artest who was fighting people in the stands. Like,
oh gosh, yo, I watched that live on TV. Like they just showed that shit. They didn't go to commercial. They just showed the whole thing.
Breaking news. Somebody's
like, what are you doing?
My favorite part when a guy stood on the court and waited for him to punch him.
Oh, I seen Jermaine.
Oh, that's the waves.
This just balling.
Oh, that's so good.
He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm getting suspended.
It's like I'm going all the way.
Jimmy Butler was not showing up to practice or something. That's what I thought I saw.
Yeah. It's always been an issue. So like he went to Philly, and I felt like him on Philly, like that when they had that specific team with Ben Simmons was actually still playing and Bede had better availability. Like they had a chance to contend for a championship, and then he left for personal reasons. And then he went to Minnesota after that, and that seemed to be working for a while. And then towards the end of that, something happened behind the scenes where he wasn't going to practice. And then, there was a practice that I had read about where he was just scoring on the whole team, shitting on them like they fucking need me. They fucking need me. Well, then he left. And then it's Miami where he is now. And I think though with the Miami situation, I think he's got a little more reason to be upset. I'm not saying he should be acting the way he's acting, but I think he does have a little more of a reason to be upset. And I'm just going to tell you why. Jimmy Butler has taken 2 teams in his tenure there to the NBA Finals by himself. Like, yeah, you have your key pieces, but you've done it on your back. You've taken 2 teams to the NBA Finals. And, both times they've tried to get you help and they haven't succeeded. Now, in order for them to get the help, they'd have to mortgage the whole team. And that's not going to work because now you're mortgaging what you need to help win for superstars, and then you would get all those expectations. So I can understand why he's upset because they haven't been able to get him what he wants, that coveted NBA championship. But I don't believe he should act the way he's acting. But I can understand why he's upset. Pat Riley's not going to stand for that.
Right.
And he ain't going to trade you either. You're going to work out your contract because I think he was up for an extension and they didn't sign him to one. So it's just but now like that could be your way out. And then, you go slide somewhere, get that Gary Payton title, man. Just slide onto a team and hope they win. I mean, that's what it's going to be.
Chances we get another Allen Iverson soundbite. We're talking about practice.
Let me just say this real quick. And I think it's important for us to really think about this for a second, okay? Because Jimmy Butler's how old is Jimmy Butler? He's 30 what? 34?
Like 35, 36.
35, 36, right? Okay. So this is what I hate about the NBA. And I hate about veterans that complain about getting help. LeBron. Anyway, you're playing with all-stars. You literally got Bam Adebayo and you got Tyler Hero. And you got a lot, 35 years old. Then you got role players. You got players like, Jaime Jaquez, right? You got, who else is on the team? There's a few players on that team that can actually contribute, right? But my point is this. Jimmy Butler is 35 years old. He got 2 all-star players that's in their prime. And then he's got a whole bunch of support, and he's still complaining about stuff. He needs to just be a professional, show up to work like we all do, and do his job, do the best he can. Are you going to win a championship? Probably not. But are you showing leadership? Are you showing yourself as being someone who's worthy of being looked at as being a leader and a vet? Of course. And that's something I admire about, people like Steph Curry. Steph Curry was on garbage teams for the past couple years. But guess what? He showed up to practice. He showed up to game with a good attitude. And eventually they got to the championship and they won that year that we didn't think they could win. And now, look, he's back in the same situation. We don't hear nothing about Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of the most modeled citizens in the NBA because he doesn't rock the boat. Jimmy Butler's literally telling the team, I'm not going to do what you want me to do because you're not doing what I asked you guys to do. That's very childish. And like you were saying before, that goes back to the mental health and the mindset.
And
he got to change his mindset.
And and I've said this before, and I think all of us in our own ways work in very difficult fields. I'm a truck driver / warehouse worker. You work in the mental health field. Brandon works for fucking UPS. So it's like, I've seen some of those trucks on during holidays. During COVID, he was posting his trucks. Like the COVID Christmas, bro, there was one truck. I tell people this story. He had a line this big to walk.
Wow.
Literally, because people were ordering COVID. People were ordering.
Oh yeah.
This, like
it was hectic.
He was supposed to status is like, how much do you fucking need?
Those were some dark times, bro.
Yeah. The dark ages.
I would have paid less to be out there for 14 hours a day, 5 days a week than some of my best friends were to be staying home playing video games. Like,
wow. Yeah.
262 stops a day.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, and a lot of them were heavy shit because everyone was home, everyone was stimulated, everyone was bored. Everyone's like, oh, let me renovate my home. Let me get all these new trampolines. Like,
just order everything.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that part of my life is over.
But what I'm saying, the point is, if I go tomorrow, I'm supposed to start at 1:55 a.m. If I call and tell my boss I'm coming in at 3, I don't feel like I'm coming in at 1:55. I'm coming in at 3. If you tell your boss, sometimes they'd be like, yo, you got to work overtime on Monday. If you say, I ain't working overtime.
Yeah.
I ain't working overtime. I don't feel like it. I got plans. You got a cringy face.
I have I come in every day. I see what's on my truck, and when I'm done, I'm done.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not a you're working overtime. I'm probably working. If I go into work.
But if you were to say, if you were to go, your boss is like, it's the second week into the holiday season. You got 260 stops. Like you said. Or 160, and you're like, I feel like doing 80 today. I'll bring the other 80 back.
Right.
I'll get in so much trouble if I bring shit back. That's not like the only instance in which it would be okay for me to bring work back that I didn't like, that I wasn't approved to bring it back, or like it's because the Department of Transportation tells us you can't work for more than 14 hours a day. So the only way that'd be okay is if it's 11 p.m. and I've been out since 9 a.m. and I come back and I couldn't finish this. Okay. That's the only instance where that's okay.
That or if your truck breaks down for a long period of time. You're not going to make that time.
They'll probably send me help though for that. So that's the thing. Like honestly, like truth be told, like UPS is a tough job, but at least at my center, like I love my management system. I really enjoy the people I work with. We're all really good team players. We all help each other. We're all good to talk to. It's all it's all good when we're in the building. My managers help me out all the time. I help them out when I can. Truth be told, like I really do enjoy my job from a bureaucratic standpoint, I suppose, where right now it's everyone I work with is really good.
Nice. That's good to have. Because I know it's up and downs. But I utilized our jobs to say, so I just don't like this theory that these players can say, I don't want to practice.
Yeah, that's horseshit.
Yeah.
Millions. Fuck out of here.
When are we going to implement, if you don't play, you don't get paid?
Mike, that's what I was saying.
That's all I was. I
even brought it a step further. If you don't win, you don't play. You don't get paid.
If
your team goes 0-82, you get nothing.
Exactly.
Obviously,
Watch how that game changes.
Let's start stabbing each other on the court.
obviously, if you're injured, that rule does not apply.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know, you got family issues, you know, God forbid, you know, personal stuff. I get all that. But if you're able to play, you're healthy, you're available to play, you play. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is I just don't like this that you cannot go to work. And guess what? You can just sit home and just be like, yeah, nothing's wrong. I'm chilling. You know, I'm just you know, or you can be
can
like,
they get sick days in the NBA?
you know, like, listen.
Like I got option days. I got an option. I got a vacation with. Is that like? I mean, they've got an off season. I assume that's when they.
That's their vacation, but even then,
Shorter off season in the NFL. But
good NBA players, they're training. They still work.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't hear NHL players asking for less time. Like,
No.
they want to be out on the ice getting fucking the shit kicked out of them.
Getting pummeled.
Yeah.
Taking a puck to the face. Like, yeah, let's go.
That's what I'm saying. It's became such a soft league. It's terrible. It's embarrassing because it's almost like you're incentivizing people to just basically whine. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. Jimmy Butler went to the Heat because he loved the Heat culture, but now he's upset because the Heat culture turned on him. I'm like, no, do your job. Show up with a good attitude and go home. That's it. You're not going to win championships every year. You're not going to go to the finals every year. But you know what's going to happen every year? You get paid. Your team look up to you. You know what I'm saying? People admire you in the city and stuff like that. Like, come on. We love stars that are real. People who are go-getters. People who have a good, like, rapport with the fans. Jimmy Butler's literally killing himself right now. Exactly. Josh Allen's a prime example. Like, this dude lost 4 times against Patrick Mahomes.
I love that. I'll run through a wall for that, man.
And you know what?
He takes
people love him.
He takes all the accountability every time.
That's what I'm saying. And he shows up with a great attitude. Jimmy Butler's whining. Like, this is crazy. I don't even want to even watch Miami play basketball now because it's like, how you gonna bail out on the team, bro? I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I take it personal when athletes complain they get paid millions.
I'm with you, Raj.
This is crazy.
And it's definitely hard because you know, because it's just like, yo, you're getting paid all this money. You know, meanwhile, people like us with regular jobs, my job didn't even want to give us a $2 raise. Like,
yeah. And how about this? When we do get something, it's a pizza party.
Bro,
this is crazy. This is crazy.
Bro.
So I don't know. I just feel like these guys are spoiled, man.
It would be, not gonna lie, it'd be pretty sweet if they did start playing like basketball, like outside on, outside courts from time to time. I think
that would be dope. If it was during the summertime, that'd be
Silver.
Hey, you never know. It might change. He's always up for a good idea.
Hopefully he's listening. It'd be a good boost for you guys' ratings.
Wow. Now I'm also reading here that LeBron James learned about the Luka AD trade while out to dinner with his family.
That's cap. I don't want to hear it.
He might have learned it was a GM. What?
Exactly. The GM made the call. Let's be honest. The GM called him while he was in New York. He was like, yo, is Luka available? All right. Get him on my team. Trade him.
Bring him to me now.
I'll whip his ass into shape.
Yeah, he's only doing that because he's friends with AD. And he knows that he's a part of his Clutch Sports. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why he's covering his ass. But in reality, he traded AD. Let's be honest.
Sick your eyebrow.
Oh man, I forgot a topic. Speaking of, bro, please tell me you've been watching or seeing the clips of Bronny in the actual games. Listen, it's so bad. I was watching First Take. Stephen A was like, LeBron, you got to stop this. He's so bad. Like I feel like the thing is the kid's got like moves, and he can move like dribble and all that, but bro, I mean there was one he was at the top of the key, he went left, he went right, he got around the defender like enough to get the shot up, but he didn't evade the defender completely. So like he was still like 3 or 4 feet from the rim. He went like this, bro. It just went off the backboard. Then he did the step back, and then he shot it. It just bricked. I'm like,
I don't know why people surprised. This is.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm just like, why are you allowing this to happen? Because listen, G League, he's playing MVP. That's where he needs to be to hone his skills, to prepare the league. I mean, the clips are so like. Listen, I knew it was gonna be bad, but bro, I mean, there's bad, and then there's worse, and then whatever's under worse. That's what this is. This is like I feel for him. Like I
don't because he's paid millions, Mike. And to be honest, this is literally the prime example of bring your kid to work day. Okay, bring your freaking kid to work day and watch what happened. F around and find out. This is what LeBron James has done. He created a monster pretty much when it comes down to the media, showing Bronny James. Because if he took the route of actually being his own player and not just LeBron James Jr. or LeBron's son, then I think he would play better because he'd be forced to play better. But if you're looking for sympathy, it's not coming from me, bro. He's paid millions of dollars. And even if he's not paid millions, he got millions that's going to be in LeBron's will. So he's good.
Well, I think here's what I think on that. I'm not denying what you're saying, but I think that if they would have just did the check-in, made the history, which I was fine with, it had never happened in basketball,
right?
And then went to be his own player, stay in the G League, get your skills up.
I agree.
I think he'll be a wonderful bench warmer or role player, but he will never be able to fill 1/4 of one of his dad's shoes.
No,
you're not built like the way your dad is, and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be rough, and like I said, those clips are bad. They're putting him in a bad position.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not putting him in a position to be successful. And in that regard, I feel bad for him because he's not ready. And he's not going to be ready anytime soon. And he needs to do time in the G League. And then I think he can be, like I said, a wonderful role player. But being a starter, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And, and when I say role player, I mean like you're averaging like 8 points, 10 points maybe.
You're giving your guys a breather, yeah.
Like you're just kind of like the hired help. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
And I'd like to see from those players. Like, I don't want to, it's a team sport. I don't want it to be all fixated on, making sure the 3 best players on your team are the best in the world. Like, the whole game should be rounded out. The whole, the whole game. It's so much cooler when you see, like, in the Super Bowl, like a random person come through. When Malcolm Butler had the touch, the catch, or in baseball, it was David Freese with like 2 home runs and a World Series.
Reason.
Like just random people.
Yeah.
I love that shit, Like I love parody. I love parody.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Malcolm X, bro.
That's a different topic, bro.
It is Black History Month.
I was about to say,
But let me say this real quick. When it comes down to Bronny too, the last thing I'm gonna say. He should have stayed in college. I know it was historical. for him to walk on that court with LeBron. Great. But I firmly believe if he would have stayed in college, he would have a better experience playing basketball. Because, like I said, it's like bring your kid to work day, okay? You're not going to have a fun experience afterwards. It's going to be basically the hardest thing you're going to do all day was be with your kid and hope that he doesn't break something or say something or do something. So at this point, LeBron needs to just say, you know what? Maybe basketball's not for Bronny. You know?
That's okay.
And that's cool. That's all right. Maybe his role is something else. Like, look at LaGello, right? Or did I say his name right? LiAngelo. Look at LiAngelo. Look at LiAngelo Ball. He tried to do the G League. Well, he tried to do the NBA thing for a while, right? Then he went to the G League. That didn't work out. Now he's rapping, doing great in it. Find your passion. And I'm not saying that's not Bronny's thing, but come on.
And he said he can rap better than Cameron.
He's wilding with that. But go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Oh, I just said I had a song that was kind of about that same topic, so I was cheering your message on.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just find your passion and stick to it. You know, like I said, man, I feel bad as far as like, damn, this is embarrassing, but I don't feel bad because I know he's gonna come out a billionaire at the end of the day. So it's like, yeah,
he'll be fine.
It's worth the embarrassment.
Oh man, well, we see what happens with that.
1 week, we'll see what happens at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, all right, boys. That's everything I got. Is there anything else either one of you wanted to cover or talk about?
Thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.
Nice.
Thank you for being on.
If you ever want to come back on, let me know. We can make it happen.
I'm ready for Honesty Hour when you are.
It's Honest Hour. Everyone's ready. That's
a good show, dude. Keep it up. I'm proud of you both. You both working on it so hard. I'm looking at I have a bachelor's of graphic design. Looking at your logo, I really enjoy that. I really like, I try to, tune in when I can. Keep doing it, guys. I enjoy it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
I didn't know you did graphic design. That's
what. Yeah. I got my degree right there.
Okay.
See, there you go, Mike. Now we got somebody we can work with.
That's it. That's good to know.
I designed a logo for a cannabis company just last year, so
that's cool.
I made money in 5 different ways last year. Like I be hustling.
Hey,
there you go.
You gotta be a hustler in this world. Yes, one job ain't enough.
On my way to the studio after this to work on some music. My friend Hunter. So
that's what's up, man.
I know you don't want to wear them browns forever, bro.
No, I don't. When I can retire, I'm out of there, man.
I know you don't want to wear them browns forever.
Yeah, no, I'm sick of winter. I'm so ready for spring.
You got to send me your card again, because when I seen you at Clayton's thing, I took your card but didn't save in my phone, so I can.
Yeah. Well, you guys should have that. You guys should definitely try that thing out for your thing. The dot card. It's instead of continuously buying business cards, you literally just have one card with a QR code, and somebody will scan it on. I can send you the link, or you can just make your own.
Yeah. Well, send me the link to yours so I have your information too.
Gotcha. I'll just send you all my information.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Raj, we got to sign those contracts to send over to Elijah too.
All right, sounds good, man.
So, all right, guys. Thank you for being on. Thank you for everyone to watch and support. We will be back next Sunday to talk about. It'll be Super Bowl heavy. That's for sure.
Yes.
So, everyone, have a good day. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.